It was a morning like any other at the BBC studios in London. Studio lights glimmered off polished surfaces and cameras rolled steadily. Millions of viewers were tuning in for the live morning segment. Everything seemed ordinary, routine, precise, controlled. At the desk sat Oliver Grant, tall, confident, and polished. A journalist used to leading conversations, sharp and authoritative. Joining remotely from Manila was Maria Santos, a young Filipino linguist. She had been invited to discuss how English evolved in Southeast Asia. No one anticipated this ordinary interview would become extraordinary. Oliver smiled at the camera, projecting warmth and authority. Joining us today from Manila is Maria Santos. Good morning, Maria. Maria returned the smile politely, calm and composed. Good morning, sir. It's a pleasure to be here. At first, the conversation flowed smoothly, almost routine. But the moment Maria spoke, Oliver's expression subtly shifted. An eyebrow arched. A smirk appeared, subtle, imperceptible, unmistakable. Viewers sensed it immediately, the precursor to a condescending comment. I must say, Maria, he began deliberate, your English is quite interesting. The word hung in the air, not complimentary, but dismissive. A soft chuckle escaped the live audience, but Maria remained calm. Thank you, sir, she said evenly. English is one of our national languages. Many Filipinos learn it early. It is used in daily life in universities, in government, and business. Oliver leaned back, pretending to consider her words carefully. Oh, yes, I've heard that. But tell me, do Filipinos speak real English? Or just your own version of it? The control room froze. This was live television. No one could intervene. Viewers shifted uneasily. But Maria did not flinch. Calm, measured, unwavering. Sir, she replied, may I ask what you mean by real English? From my perspective, there isn't just one kind of English. Oliver's mind raced. He was used to leading, not being challenged. How can she answer so calmly? He thought. I've never had someone turn my words around with such precision. Maria continued, her voice steady, commanding. There is British English, American English, Australian English, Indian English, Nigerian English. Wouldn't you agree? The studio went silent. Even the crew stopped moving. Maria's quiet authority unsettled Oliver. He cleared his throat. Well, at the BBC, we use the standard form. Maria smiled faintly. And who decided what the standard is? Was it the British Empire? A gasp swept through the audience. Even viewers leaned closer. Oliver tried to laugh. It sounded hollow, forced. Maria leaned forward. Language evolves. British English borrowed words. From French, Latin, even Hindi. Filipino English evolved to fit our reality. Being different doesn't make it wrong. It makes it ours. Oliver attempted another rebuttal. But surely the Queen's English is the gold standard. Maria shook her head gently. Most young British people don't speak like the Queen anymore. Even your viewers don't. Laughter erupted from the audience. Oliver's smile tightened. Maria continued, calm, precise, commanding. In the Philippines, English isn't just for academics. Taxi drivers speak it. Street vendors speak it. Farmers speak it. It connects people across all walks of life. We may pronounce words differently, but we understand each other perfectly. And that is the real purpose of language. Meanwhile, in Manila, life carried on vibrantly. Streets buzzed with vendors, students, and signage in English. Taxi drivers, delivery boys, and street performers used English naturally. Across the world, social media erupted. TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram lit up. Comments streamed in. She's schooling him. Filipino pride! Calm, smart, brilliant. People from Africa, India, the Caribbean, and Southeast Asia shared the clip. Millions recognized themselves in Maria's words. Back in Manila, students watched intently from classrooms and homes. Teachers encouraged them, saying, "This is how you stand your ground, with humility and intelligence." Young Filipinos who once felt insecure about their accents suddenly felt pride. English wasn't a barrier. It was a bridge connecting people across cultures. Hours later, clips of the interview had gone viral worldwide. Millions watched as Maria dismantled arrogance with clarity and grace. She didn't shout. She didn't belittle. She simply spoke the truth. And the world listened. The BBC itself posted on its official accounts. We celebrate diversity in language. Today's conversation with Maria Santos reminds us that English belongs to all who speak it. The next day, Oliver issued a public apology. "I've learned something valuable," he said sincerely. "English is a bridge, not a wall. I was wrong to underestimate how beautifully Filipinos use it." Maria became an overnight sensation. Universities around the world invited her to speak about linguistic diversity. Teachers showed the clip to students, emphasizing humility and intelligence. Across the Philippines, people felt proud of their accents. They realized their way of speaking English was not a limitation. It was a mark of identity, global adaptability, and cultural pride. Weeks later, Maria returned to the BBC, not as a guest to be questioned, but as a respected commentator. Oliver greeted her sincerely. "Welcome back. Maria, it's an honor to have you." Maria smiled warmly. "Thank you, sir." The atmosphere had transformed completely. Respect replaced condescension. Conversation replaced mockery. The studio was now full of warmth and admiration. Oliver admitted, "I watched our first interview many times. You didn't just defend Filipino English. You reminded me what communication is truly about. Connection." Maria nodded. "Exactly. Language isn't about who sounds more proper. It's about making people feel understood. And Filipinos have mastered that." Her words resonated far beyond the BBC studio. In classrooms across Manila, students quoted her in essays. In offices, employees shared the clip during lunch breaks. Non-native English speakers worldwide began to see that confidence mattered more than accent. Her story became a global symbol of pride, intelligence, and cultural respect. Whenever someone mocked a Filipino for their English, people would reply, "Careful! Remember what happened to that BBC reporter?" Maria Santos didn't shout. She didn't belittle. She didn't fight with anger. She spoke with truth, clarity, and humility. And in doing so, she reminded the world that English does not belong to a single country, or a single accent, or a single standard. It belongs to everyone who uses it to connect, communicate, and express themselves. In the end, Maria proved something simple yet profound. You don't need a British accent to speak English with intelligence. You don't need perfect pronunciation to command respect. You only need a voice that speaks truth, a mind that understands, and the courage to stand firm. That day, Live on Air, the BBC, and the world finally understood. Language is a bridge, a tool, and a gift for connection. It does not belong to a few, it belongs to the many. And Maria Santos had shown everyone exactly how powerful it can be. Her calm intelligence silenced arrogance. Her words inspired millions. Her story became a reminder. Confidence, respect, and truth speak louder than perfection. Across the world, people celebrated the diversity of English. Filipino English, proud and confident, had earned its place. And that day, Live on Air, the BBC, and the world finally understood.